regard to collaborating and coordinating with us. I think it's a great partnership. I think y'all run an awesome junior tour. So I think for the families that are on the call, you're in a great spot with the Philadelphia PGA Junior Tour. And I always look at your lineup every summer, and I'm very jealous of what I see. So certainly very excited. Is there anything from the section office side that you guys want to share before we get rolling?
No, just wanted to express our gratitude again to you guys as well, and we look forward to coming up for our junior event in another month in Penn State, and it should be pretty fun. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, coming up quick. We have almost, I think it's 135 players coming to Penn State, so it's going to be a big event. We're real excited. So
that's awesome, and we will be there as well. One of the days, I'm not sure which, but if you hear from us now and you enjoyed what you hear, maybe a chance to meet in person when you come to State College, and from there, maybe you could even plan a tour around your visit, or we can go into a little more detail about the program. So I'll go ahead and share my screen here. Perfect. All right, and can folks just say that they can see my screen, or just give a quick yes, because I can't see the chat or can't see people.
You're good, Mitchell.
Perfect. So yeah, welcome again to everybody with regard to our Philly PGA Junior Tour webinar. Super excited about this. It's a great opportunity to share more about our program, and I think this is a great next step for everybody with regard to starting to think about that college process. I'll introduce myself real quick, and then from there, I'll actually let the students and our alumni introduce themselves as well. We've got an awesome panel for everybody today. My name is Mitchell Smith. I serve as a faculty member in the Penn State PGA Golf Management Program. I've been in my role for close to 3 years now. It is the most rewarding position I've ever been in, seeing students grow, seeing where they've secured internships, and really have been very fortunate to have had a great opportunity working with a lot of great people. So with that, I'll let the students give a quick intro about themselves, maybe what year you're in, maybe where you're planning to go this summer. And I'll also have our alums give a quick intro as well with regard to where they're currently at, and maybe when they graduate from Penn State. So I'll turn the floor over from here, and then we'll begin the presentation.
Cool. I'll go first. I'm Allison. I'm a sophomore in the program currently, and I'm going to Baltusrol next summer. And then last year I went to Medina Country Club.
I can go now. Oh, right, Dan, you got it now. You got it.
All right. Hey, everybody. I'm Dan Reed. I'm a second year in the program. I'm going to Essex County Club in Manchester, Massachusetts this summer. And like Allison, I was also at Medina last year. So looking forward to answering questions you guys have.
All right. My name is Jackson Luca. I'm also a second year in the program. I went to Wilmington Country Club last year, and that's the Delaware Wilmington, not North Carolina. And this summer I'm going to Wade Hampton, which is in Western North Carolina, in Cashiers.
What's going on, guys? I'm Jared Foltz. I'm a third-year student in the Penn State PGM program. I was at Philadelphia Cricket Club this past year, and I'll be returning this year as a teaching intern.
What's going on, everybody? My name is Dylan Job. I am a second year in the program as well. I went to the Quechee Club in Quechee, Vermont last summer, and then this summer I am going to Oyster Harbor's Club in Cape Cod, on Cape Cod this summer.
Mitchell, is that all the students?
I believe so, yes.
All right. My name is Nathaniel Martin. I'm an alum of the program. I graduated in 2022. So some familiar faces on here, some really awesome spots that you guys are all going to, which is obviously a testament to the program and to what Mitchell's doing. So congrats and good luck with that this summer. But I'm at Lancaster Country Club. I've been there for the last few seasons as an assistant, and have worked a few other places along the way. But looking forward to answering you guys' questions and giving you any guidance that I can.
Absolutely. And David, if you don't mind helping out, looks like Michael Schenk's trying to log on, but maybe he's having some technical issues. Can I give you his cell phone number to reach out while I'm going through the presentation?
Yeah, sure thing.
914.
Here, 1 second. All right. Yeah, go ahead.
914
Mm-hmm.
374
Yep.
3703.
All right. Gotcha.
Perfect. Thanks again for your help with that. Yeah, and just looking forward to a great evening. I thought first, before I dive into Penn State, I'd just share a little bit more about what professional golf management is, since I know for some of you, this is the first time you may have heard of this program. There's currently 16 universities that are accredited by the PGA of America. If you're looking at professional golf management, you definitely want to make sure you're going to a university that is accredited. Through the program, students earn a bachelor's degree. Every school is different. At Penn State, it's a bachelor's degree in recreation, parks, and tourism management, with the option to do a business certificate. I know several of our students do take advantage of the business certificate option. But while in school, you're also working toward becoming a PGA professional. So it's really the best of both worlds in that you're getting your regular bachelor's degree. You're going through everything that a regular college student would go through. It's just you're really designing it in a way to have a career in golf. And there's really a wide range of career opportunities out there. So some folks may want to follow the path that Nathaniel Martin did, where he's at Lancaster Country Club. But we have several others that have become sales reps or have worked with the PGA of America. So there's a great range of different careers out there. And one of the things we love to share is that we have 100% job placement through our program, in positions and in really good positions as well, with regard to where our students end up lining up. So I shared a little bit about this already, but at Penn State, the bachelor's is in recreation, parks, and tourism management. Also may choose to do a business certificate, which is pretty similar to a minor. I would say that a lot of the coursework is the same. I'm actually a graduate of Clemson's professional golf management program. And a lot of the courses I took when I got my business minor there pretty much align exactly with what's at Penn State. I'll go into detail on the internship part. So students complete a total of 16 months of full-time paid internships as part of the program and 100% job placement. So this is just a quick.
Mitch, can I interrupt real quick?
Yeah, absolutely.
Your screen, it's almost like a really small portion of the screen is being taken up for the screen share. Like we can't see the presentation very large.
Can't see it large. Okay.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure why.
Let's see. Let's try it this way.
Yeah, that's
Better or
much better.
worse?
That's much better.
Okay, perfect. Awesome. And I apologize if that font's a little bit small on this one. We won't go through this in a ton of detail today. If folks want to plan an on-campus visit, we'll go over it in a little more detail. The biggest things I'm going to point out, though, just from our academic plan is when you enter into a PGA golf management program, one of the unique things is that you're diving into your PGA coursework right away. So you'll see here, first year seminar. That's actually kind of your 101, learning about the history of the PGA, PGA Constitution, rules of golf. So it kind of gets you into the program right from the get-go. You'll also see RPTM 100A, that fall semester year one. That's a really cool course. So that's actually a player development class that's designed to help you with your game. One of the really awesome things about our program is our director of player development, Dan Merrill. He actually was just rated as one of Golf Digest's best young instructors. He, during the summertime, actually is director of instruction at Noyak, which is a very high-end private facility out in the Hamptons. And he does a great job with regard to helping students where they are and meeting them at their point in their games to help them improve to be able to pass the playing ability test, which I'll go into a little bit more detail about later, but also showing students how to teach the game as well. So you're pretty much diving right into the PGA curriculum from the start. The one thing that you'll also notice is that you'll see over the summer, students are actually taking courses with us while they're on internship. So you'll notice that academically, students are actually on campus for 7 semesters. And then the other semesters they're going to be in their internship roles. So after their first year, you'll see a first summer internship, RPTM 295A. Then second year, you'll see your second internship, which is RPTM 395B. The third one, which you'll see 495B and 495C, is actually a summer fall internship. So that's kind of an opportunity where students will go big. And when I say go big, it could really be 2 things. One, it could be you're going somewhere for your 7-month position. It's somewhere you might want to be full time. And then by the time you graduate, a lot of students will end up going back. Or we'll have students that maybe want to go abroad or go somewhere out on the West Coast or somewhere they've never been before. So really, there's a lot of flexibility in our curriculum, and I think it's something that makes our program very unique. So as part of the program, students complete a total of 5 internships, 16 months. All the internships are paid, built into the curriculum. All the internships either offer free housing or highly subsidized housing. So we'll get to a point where students will share more about their internship experiences and where they've gone. But they've gone to some of the best places really in the world and worked for some of the best PGA professionals that are in the industry. So really incredible opportunity with regard to the network you build and the people you meet while you're in those positions. So I'll just pull up a map real quick just to share with everybody where our students are going this year. And if this is a little small, I apologize, but a lot of Northeast, as you can see, but we do have a few that decide to go on the West Coast. If I actually zoom out the map a little bit more, we have a couple of students that are actually going to the UK for 7-month internships coming up. And we have a couple that are actually going out to China. So pretty wide range of opportunities that are out there. And really, I tell students that the world is their oyster when it comes to finding different positions. So here's some photos just of some students in action. A lot of really cool spots here. So I'll share a little bit about a couple of these opportunities. So Core Golf Academy is actually a teaching academy that is in Boston. They've done a really good internship for students that are really interested in teaching the game. Titleist, which is over here. This is one of our students that's about to graduate who actually did a ball fitting internship with Titleist. And I know he had a great experience out there. This is from Hyannisport, so a great club up in Massachusetts. So really a wide range of great opportunities and really a lot of different great spots to choose from. So we'll start with the students. Maybe we'll have 3 students go for now. And the question is, what has been your favorite part of the internship experiences you've been on? And what are you most looking forward to this upcoming summer?
I can go. I'll say for me, my favorite part is you just continue to grow. You meet so many new people. For me, I got to intern with a student from Campbell and a student from Florida Gulf Coast, and I would consider them some of my very good friends. So I think just those relationships you build over time, I think that's kind of what's important to me. And what I'm most looking forward to this summer, like I said before, coming from Wilmington Country Club, and I live in Downingtown, PA, so not too far from the Philly Junior Tour guys. And going down to North Carolina, just a bit of a culture change. I had spent all my time up in the Northeast, so I think just gathering some new tools in my belt, and that's kind of what I'm looking forward to.
I can go. My favorite part of my first internship that I did this past summer was probably the relationships I've built with some of the members at the club. 100% agree with everything Jackson said. Just kind of building off of that. Not only do you get to make some awesome relationships with the people you work with, but you also get to develop some really cool relationships with members at the club. Some of them I've gotten some great connections from, talked to some awesome people, and then I'd say this upcoming summer would be getting to experience kind of like a new part of the country. I've been to Cape Cod a while ago, but really excited to spend the summer out there and work there.
Perfect. Maybe have one more student share their insights, and then we'll have a question for Nathaniel. And I think Michael just joined, so maybe both of them can share a different question with regard to internship as well.
I can go, Mitchell, for this last one. Kind of building off the last two said, was making the connections with, mostly for me, it was the interns. I met some of my really good friends that way, one from UNLV and another from Methodist. So I think that was a really big thing for my first internship. Also, I got to work in different areas of the golf industry that I'd never done before. So that was really helpful. And then this summer, I would say I'm most looking forward to working directly with the merchandising director, Maggie, at Baltusrol. So that would probably be what I'm looking forward to the most.
Awesome. Very cool. All right. So now a question for our alums is, how did the PSU PGA Golf Management Program help you achieve your career goals? And what advice would you give to someone interested in enrolling in a PGA Golf Management Program?
Michael, I can start here. But yeah, the PGM program obviously, enabled me to be at the position where I'm at now. Coming into it, Mitchell showed the entire curriculum there, and just like with any college program that you're going to go into, kind of looking at it from that view, you think, wow, there's a lot that I have to get done. But the fact that it's a large university, but a small major, right? When I was enrolled, we had about 100 students. So you truly get to know everybody that you're on campus with. You get to go through all of those experiences together, whether it's internship, work experience, any of the tests, those sorts of things. Going out to play golf for 9 holes or getting into the GTRC. Those are all those experiences that, as a college student, bring you together, bring you really close together with your classmates and your other peers. But my advice for anybody interested in enrolling in the program, obviously, if you're on this call, you're somewhat interested and you're doing the right things by checking it out. Obviously, a little bit biased, but I think Penn State is the best program in the country. And, a testament to that is just, as Mitchell shared, the places that we get to go as students, and then as we become alumni, the connections and the network that you establish on those internships, whether it's your first internship or your last, or your first job out of college, that whole path is kind of started by your time as a student, and the resources that we're able to utilize as students and then as alumni as well. But I'll turn it over to Michael.
Perfect. David, do you know if Michael was able to hop on?
Yeah, there we go. I'm unmuted
Oh,
now.
there we go.
I'm going to start again. I'm going to echo what Nathaniel was saying there a little bit. I'll start with my advice to anyone considering it, which is certainly consider it. I mean, if you love golf, there is not a better way to be involved with the game. And I've probably been at it a little longer than most of the folks on this call, but I was playing Philly Junior Tour events a few years back, and learned about this major pretty late in high school, and checked it out, and it's been just such a gift. I mean, the point that Nathaniel made about having a small major on a big campus. So being able to be at Penn State, but having that small group that you really get to know. And now at this stage, for me, having that professional network, guys that I went to college with all those years ago that are still great friends and still a great network. I think what I would say specific to the Penn State program, I really believe that it positions you better than any of the other golf management programs to succeed in the business. I think you can just go down the list of alumni and clubs, and it's really a wonderful way to be involved with, not only great clubs, but as Mitchell was saying, there's a lot of directions you can go with it in the golf business. I've had a number of guys that work for me that are not in the golf business anymore, but use the PGM program to advance themselves through professional relationships that they made with the members. And so it really just opens a lot of doors, and it certainly has for me.
Absolutely. And that's actually a perfect segue to talking about our alumni network. So we're very fortunate to have been around since 1990, and we actually just eclipsed the 700 mark for alumni, which we're very proud of. You can see some of the names and some of the facilities our alums are at. Maybe the most prominent is obviously Augusta National. Very proud that the head golf professional at Augusta National is actually one of our alums. And one of the neat things about our program is all of our students are actually connected to an alumni to serve as a mentor. So we think having that alumni mentorship can really go a long way with regard to providing a voice in the industry that can help out. Along with that, the underclassmen are also given an upperclassman to serve as a mentor as well. So we really try to make sure that there's a lot of support and that we can provide everything needed for students to be successful while on campus. So going back to our alums again, just a question for Michael and Nathaniel. How often have you connected with your student mentor, and how important is mentoring to you? And if you can share maybe one success story you've had in the past, or something neat with an intern that you've had, I think that'd be great to pass along to families.
Yeah, I'm happy to start off on this one. So at this stage of my career, mentorship is something that I'm especially passionate about. And, we've got 4 interns every year at Wilmington, and I take it as a personal charge to really spend a lot of time with those interns, make sure they have a great experience, make sure they learn a lot. I guess as sort of a highlight, at this stage, probably north of 10 former staff members who've gone on to either director of instruction or head professional roles, which is, I'm very proud of, but also just as proud of the ones that have gone on to great success in other areas too. And I'll give a shout out to Jackson Luca, who's on the call. He's a personal highlight, did a great job for us at Wilmington. And it's fun to watch him and everyone that's come through kind of go on and do great things.
Yeah, just to go off of what Michael was saying, earlier, he's been at it a little bit longer than I have, so don't have quite the number of success stories just yet, but just any opportunity that you get as you become an alumni to, mentor and to hopefully give back. This program does a really great job of doing that and, continuing to engage the alumni. There's not a point where, I graduated and then felt like you're isolated from the program. You remain a part of the family. I've been able to mentor now 2 students who are graduating this year, who I was fortunate to know while I was at school. So it's been cool to watch their development from the time they came in as freshmen and now to the point where they're graduating and pursuing their PGA certification. In terms of interns that we've had in the past, at Lancaster in particular, it's been really fun to watch them continue to grow and continue to not only give back to our club at Lancaster, but what I've been able to see them do kind of on a wider scale, whether they stay at Lancaster or move on, you maintain that relationship with them. And as Michael said, whether they are in the golf business or they're pursuing something outside of that path, just to have that relationship, to check in, to have a phone call, and obviously the opportunity arises every once in a while to get together and play some golf at some really awesome facilities. So it's been really cool the last 2 years as a alumni, and been really fortunate to stay involved with the program.
And Mitchell, if I could throw on one more point there, I think Nathaniel said a really important word in there, which is family. And I would just say, I think that is sort of the sense I've always had about the program. And, I really feel like I could reach out to anyone who's ever graduated as a Penn State PGMer, even if I haven't necessarily crossed paths with them, and to be able to share that connection. It instantly creates a connection, which is pretty neat.
Absolutely. And I think one thing of note as well is that Michael actually hired his student as one of his 7-month interns this year, which we're really excited that connection got made, and excited with how that worked out. So great stuff. So one of the other unique things about our program, and one of the neat connections that we've had, is with the Masters. So obviously the Masters just concluded in April. And a lot of our students actually travel down to Augusta during the week to work in a variety of roles. Great opportunity to network, build your resume, also see a very busy operation over the course of a week. And Augusta National has also offered a 2-year fellowship position upon graduation that we've seen several students take advantage of. Actually, one of those folks is Nathaniel Martin, who's on the call. So that actually leads me to my next question, and we'll start with the students. Maybe we'll have 2 students that went down to Augusta share what the week was like, what your biggest takeaway is, and then Nathaniel, maybe you can talk a little bit about the 2-year fellowship position and what that was like for you when you received that opportunity.
I can kind of talk about the Masters. Myself, Daniel, and Allison all went down there this past year. But one thing I can say that it's like to work there would be just incredible. I mean, you get to go be on property, Augusta National. You get to watch a little bit of golf in there, but you also get to learn a lot about sort of how merchandising works, and on that big of a scale, the number of people that it takes to sort of operate something like that is surreal. I'd say my biggest takeaway is the number of people I met. I mean, I think I've met at least 10 head golf professionals from around the country that work at various places that also work at the Masters for that week. So I would say, again, just connections and the experience.
Yeah, and following Dylan, I can kind of follow up with what he said in terms of working the Masters. I mean, you go down to Augusta National and you're pretty much thrown into the fire right away of one of the busiest weeks in golf, with very little training, and just having that bond with your team of trying to get the job done and make the experience as memorable for the patrons as possible is just kind of what brings you and the rest of your team together. So I know, like, Dylan and Allison and I, we all have memories from our experience working down there with our respective teams that, will last us not just through our professional career, but really for the rest of our lives. It's really something that is truly awesome and something you'll never forget.
Awesome. Nathaniel, do you want to share a little bit about the 2-year fellowship experience that you had down there?
Yeah, thanks, Mitchell. And I'll just start off and just say that kind of back to what Michael had shared just about the importance of family and how much we stress that. I think a large reason why Penn State and the Masters and Augusta National are so well intertwined is just because of that family culture. I think anybody that's been there, whether it's as a student for the week working the tournament, or as a patron, or in any other capacity, can clearly see that very easily, that the biggest thing that is done well there is that cohesiveness of the unit. There's a lot of moving parts throughout the week of the Masters, and obviously a lot of moving parts throughout the Masters season. But to talk a little bit about the 2-year program that I was fortunate to be a part of. It was really opportunity of a lifetime, and when I got the chance to apply to that, it was, honestly, it was one of those things where you apply and you hope that everything that you put your best foot forward, and you lean on the alumni network and past bosses that you've had, and everybody was incredibly supportive to help get you ready to go through the interview process. And when you got the call, that you're going to have the opportunity to be a part of that program for the next 2 years, it was really an amazing call to receive. And being there for the 2 years, I think I learned a lot about large operations. And you think about a large operation and you might think that there's opportunity for something to slip through the cracks here or there, but obviously anybody who's ever watched the Masters on TV or been there, you know that that's not the case. And the same thing applies during the member season. Every detail is meticulously thought out. Attention to detail is really paramount in terms of what we try to accomplish. And just the opportunity to be around, again, 4 or 5 other people like yourself who are in that program at the same time, and to be able to lean on them, to problem solve, to troubleshoot if anything arises. Everybody's there because they care, and hopefully, regardless of where you're at, you have that same mindset. But as I said, it's a bit more magnified, and being in that program certainly gave me the opportunity to really hone in on being attentive to the small things, right? When you're able to get those small things right time after time again, that's a really good testament to what the club is able to do. And then the last thing I'll mention is just another kind of core value of the club is just that continuous improvement. So I'm sure anybody who worked the tournament this past year saw that in action as well. From the morning check-ins to late evening restocks, you're constantly talking about, hey, what can we do better tomorrow? We had a really great day today, but what can we do better tomorrow? How can we be better prepared for this circumstance? Or the weather looks like it's going to be pretty rainy tomorrow. How can we be best prepared to serve the patrons who need rain gear or whatever that might be? So just those little details that just don't go unnoticed and do not get missed. That's really my biggest takeaway, and hopefully something that I'm able to kind of continue with through the rest of my career, and then instill into those interns and assistants that are around you.
Absolutely. Really cool experience, and we're very excited that you ended up having that opportunity. So now going back to Penn State. So one of the really neat parts about our program is the Susie and Jim Broadhorse Golf Teaching and Research Center. We're very fortunate to have 3 hitting bays. The hitting bay that you actually see the most in this photo is where we actually conduct a lot of our research. Not sure if you'll see a couple cameras up here. These are actually 3D motion capture cameras. So if anybody's watched animated movies before, and you see people actually dressed up in the suits with the dots, we can actually analyze every part of the golf swing in there. This facility also gets a lot of use. It's just for PGA golf management students. We actually use the weather to our advantage. So when there's weather like this, when it's warmer, we're generally out on the course. We're generally focused on scoring. And then in the wintertime, when it gets a little colder, that's when we start to focus a little bit more on technical stuff that maybe you didn't really want to change in the middle of playing season, and you want to focus more on now while you're indoors. And so that way you're ready for when the playing season and when the warmer weather ends up coming. So these are just a few photos from player development. This is what a typical player development session looks like during the week. It's really neat how Dan structured the program. A lot of it is all about scoring and thinking about strategy in a lot of different ways. even going through the program, helping Dan teach, I learned a lot with regard to even my own course strategy. And that leads me to my next point. So I know everybody on this call or in this webinar is playing in Philly PGA Junior Tour events. And one of the questions that I've gotten is, we talk so much about careers in golf and the business side, but that said, we still play a lot of golf on a regular basis. We generally have tournaments weekly. There's also opportunities to play against other universities for those that are playing well. So our top 5 students actually play in the university championship in the fall. That's a championship event that rotates every year, but all 16 universities compete in that. We have a great relationship with the University of Maryland Eastern Shore. Our top 8 players play in a Ryder Cup style event against them in the fall. And then the Lake Erie Classic is actually a brand new event. This will be year 3 coming up. The last 2 years, it's been hosted actually at 2 top 100 facilities. Our top 8 players have the opportunity to play in that event. But as you can see, there's a lot of competitive golf still being played. So if you love to play competitive golf now as part of the Philly section and playing in Philadelphia PGA Junior Tour events, you're in the right spot when it comes to our program, when it comes to not only building a career, but also still being able to play competitively. This is one of the most fun things that we've implemented. Actually implemented my first year that I started at Penn State, and that's our winter tournament series. So our winter tournament series, all of the faculty have a team of roughly 12 students, which is the majority of our program. And essentially during the winter, we play every Friday. And this is what a typical winter tournament series day actually looks like. We have done it as a team format in the past, playing alternate shot. Everybody's on your team cheering for you, or the folks not on your team cheering in a different way. But there's a lot of camaraderie there. It's really a great time to come together. And it's probably been one of our more popular events of late with regard to student engagement and folks still playing even when the weather is cold and there's snow on the ground. So looking at the students now, maybe we'll have 3 students answer this question. So how often are you utilizing the Golf Teaching Research Center? And how often would you say you're playing golf as part of the program?
I can go. How often do I use the GTRC? I would say, especially in the wintertime, that's go time for the GTRC. Every bay is packed, and you're having 3-4 students lined up for you after that. And I think it really keeps you sharp come springtime, where you're not coming out of a slump. You're not hitting balls just straight into a mat. There's data that's analyzed, and you can actually see where your ball flight's going. So I would say definitely in the winter. I mean, almost every day, maybe every other day, but definitely a lot. And then how often am I playing? I mean, especially winter months, summer months, warm months up here. It's such a short period. It's go, go, go. So, I mean, again, every day, every other day, and then you got a tournament on the weekend. So I think the program does a very good job of highlighting both the playing side of stuff and the recreation part of stuff, with the relationship we have with the golf courses and what we have set up with them, which I guess Mitchell could speak on a little more.
Yeah, building off of what Jackson said, in the winter, I'm down there all the time, utilizing, just practicing, playing with friends. It's a lot of fun. And Mitchell touched on the winter series. That is, we have a fall tournament series outside, a spring tournament series outside. And I think a lot of people would agree that as much fun as individual tournaments are, the winter series is a lot of people's favorite time of the year to play like competitive golf. It gets a lot of fun. We do alternate shot for the winter series, and it's really, really neat. Like, a lot of kids are down there the entire day on Friday, just like hanging out, making really good relationships, cheering on or cheering against other teams. It's a lot of fun. And how often are you playing golf as part of the program? yeah, we have our tournaments on the weekends. We get graded on those, which is pretty cool. We have to play in so many tournaments for our PGA classes. And if you're in player development, you're graded on how well you play in the tournaments. And yeah, like Jackson said, it's pretty much either every day when it's nice, if you can get a tee time, or every other day.
Awesome. Maybe one more student want to share some insight?
Sure, I can. I mean, having the GTRC is really awesome. Not only can you go down in there and hit golf balls and practice with all the technology we have Foresight quad monitors as well as TrackMan. So we really have the best technology down there in order to kind of see what we're doing in our golf swing and giving us the best kind of ball flight we can without actually seeing the ball fly outside. We have a great partnership with the golf courses. We host our weekly PGM Student Society tournaments there almost every weekend in the fall and in the spring. And we can actually get unlimited walking rounds with a very heavily discounted fee that we pay. And that's through your student account. And going out there on a weekday after classes with some of your friends, just playing like little twilight rounds it really makes the experience, because you all go to class together, you all play golf together. It really develops this culture of being a family.
Very well said. All right, so now a question to Michael and to Nathaniel. So through your career as a PGA professional, where are some of the best places you've gotten to play? How often do you end up competing in section events? And just a general question with regard to being in the industry, how important would you say it is to keep up your game as part of being a PGA professional?
Go ahead, Nathaniel.
Yeah, so just to comment a little bit about the GTRC to start, as all the students mentioned, it's an incredible resource that we have at Penn State, and following along on social media, the winter tournament series looks like a lot of fun. You guys do a great job with that, and obviously on either side of that with the fall and spring tournament series, it does a great job to keep your game sharp. As everybody knows, tournament golf is a little bit different, but by being able to play as much as we are, obviously being in the north during some of those months that you're in school, we struggle with the weather a little bit, but to have that resource to go down the GTRC during the week and kind of keep your game sharp is really wonderful. I've been fortunate to play some really awesome places as as a student and as an alumni. Obviously, with the postgraduate position that I had at Augusta, I was fortunate to play there a number of times. And one of the perks with that position was to be able to have family members out the last week of each season that I was there. So I was able to play around with my father and brother, which was really a special experience and something that obviously I'll cherish, again, not just professionally, but personally as well. In terms of playing in section events, they're a really awesome opportunity to, again, continue that networking and just seeing familiar faces. Obviously, you want to play well in any event. And so it's a really great opportunity to keep your game sharp. It's a great opportunity for you to relate to your students that you're teaching, whether they're getting ready for a club championship or they're just playing casually with their friends. Everybody deals with different sorts of pressure in different ways, but being able to go out there and compete in section events is a really great way, like I said, just for you to relate to your students when you're on the lesson tee, when you're in the golf shop, interacting with them. And your members and other people you interact with, they like to know that you're getting out there and you're playing, not just because they like to see you represent the club, but they know for yourself. Again, obviously, the reason we all got into this business is because we like to play the game, right? So to be able to do that in section events is really awesome. And again, kind of touched on it, but we'll just say it's really important to keep up with your game, and whether that's going out with a group of members and getting it around and making a few birdies and kind of showing them the shots that you teach them every day on the lesson tee, or whether that's going out and competing, at a section or national level. As a PGA member, you have really great opportunities to continue with that competitive drive. And obviously, I'm sure a lot of you guys saw the National Club Pro, the qualifying the last few weeks and those events to qualify for the PGA Championship. If you have the game, you have the ability to continue, like I said, to keep that competitive fire alive.
A lot of great points there, Nathaniel. And I guess I'll start by saying I've been at the GRTC. I'm a little jealous because it was not there when I was at Penn State, and it is an unbelievable facility. So I know for all the students there, it's such a great resource. I would completely echo what you said. I mean, I think playing, it is why we got in the game, or in the business rather, and it's an important thing to keep up. I mean, it was quite literally junior golf tournaments that led me to the program in the first place, like some of the folks on this call, and being able to continue playing in, PGM tournaments and then later in section events. It's important. And I still play some section events. I play a lot of member golf. I grew up on a municipal golf course, but this PGM program has taken me literally all over the world, from New Zealand to Ireland, Scotland, England, a lot of the great courses in America. And so just extraordinarily fortunate to do that, and to do it with, members of the club, which is, a pretty amazing part of the job, that you get to maybe take a trip with some of your members to some unbelievable golf courses and spend that time together. It's really hard to beat.
Absolutely. Yeah, so one of the other unique things about our program is our living learning community. I'm very excited because when I first started, the living learning community dorms were actually not air-conditioned dorms, but we changed that, and this incoming class will be in Holmes Hall, which is an air-conditioned facility dorm. But it's a great opportunity for our first-year students to be able to live together. We know they're all going through the same things, build those connections. I know for me personally, I was in a living learning community in professional golf management. We all lived on the same hall together, and those eventually became my roommates for essentially 5 years, and we're still really close to this day. So I think having that community from the get-go is something that, as everybody's kind of echoed at this point, is something that really makes this program stand out. And one of the neat things about our program is our PGM Student Society. So we actually have a few students on here that serve as board members on our Student Society. And it's a great opportunity to really make an influence on the program. So our PGM Student Society picks our guest speaker series every month that we have, where an industry professional comes to Penn State, shares a little bit more about their career. They're also responsible for putting our professional golf management tournaments together, as well as putting together social events. So they're really highly involved, and they're really passionate about what they do. And the more students are involved, the more we see them be successful. So really an awesome opportunity to be able to take advantage of. And there are opportunities even for first-year students to get involved right away. So I'm not sure if there are any Penn State alumni or parents in the crowd, but if there are, you've probably heard of Thon. So Thon is a 46-hour no-sitting dance marathon, no sleeping dance marathon that raises funds for pediatric cancer. It's actually it's awesome to see how our students have been involved with Thon, how it's grown. They've partnered with the Penn State Equestrian Group In this past year, I believe they raised close to $80,000 to support cancer research. So really neat to see that involvement within the community and see how our students have all come together. It's honestly hard to explain in a slideshow. Experiencing it firsthand is something that, without a doubt, is one of the most memorable things that anybody will ever do. So I'll actually direct this question to Dylan, since Dylan is now our upcoming Thon chair. Would love to hear what your involvement with Thon has been like, and if you can just share a little bit about what Thon means to you as a student, I think that would be great.
For sure, Mitchell. Yeah, so like you said, I'm actually the Thon 2026 director for PGM. Really excited to get rolling with Thon this year. I would say that what it means to me is it's like, like Mitchell mentioned, it's really kind of complicated to put into words, but it's easily the best weekend here of the entire year. You get to have one of the coolest experiences with your friends in the stands of the Bryce Jordan Center, supporting our two dancers down on the floor. So they are actually the ones that are doing 46 hours, no sitting, no sleeping, but everyone else in the BJC can come and go as they please. But you still can't sit or sleep. But it's just incredible. Such a special weekend to be able to experience with your friends, and just sort of be a part of something bigger than yourself.
Absolutely. My parents actually came up this year for the first time to see it, and they got to see what it truly meant and how unique the event is as a whole. So certainly an awesome opportunity for our students to get involved with. So one of the perks for sure of our program is our spring break trip. So every year we rotate between domestic and international. 2024, we were in Scotland for a week. We actually built a course around golf course architecture. This is an elective class, so it's not required. But for those that do decide to go on it, they get to play 5 top 100 facilities. Back in 2024, we went to Muirfield, the Old Course, Jubilee, Turnberry, and Prestwick, which was actually the original site of the Open Championship. So really a neat experience to be able to play some of the greatest golf courses in the world. In 2025, over spring break, we went to Bandon Dunes, Oregon. Bandon Dunes is a really unique spot. 5 top 100 facilities there in one area of the resort, and really a great bonding opportunity and networking opportunity as well. The professionals at Bandon Dunes do a great job of hosting the students and also give a little presentation while out there. And one of our alumni actually became head golf professional at one of Bandon Dunes facilities earlier this year. So we were really excited to see that. And I think it's certainly something that makes our program unique. Another unique part of our program is the PGA merchandise show. So myself and Dan Merrill, who is right here, actually lead a course around the PGA merchandise show. This is an elective class as well, so it's not a required course, but it's a great opportunity to network with some of the biggest names in the industry. Our assignments are built around having lunch with the CEO of the PGA, for example, going to our alumni reception, and then also sending thank you notes to those that they meet at the show. So it's really an awesome opportunity to be able to meet everybody and anybody you can think of, and also truly see how big the golf industry is. I know a lot of folks, when they go to the PGA show, don't necessarily know the size of the industry until they've actually seen the show. Roughly, I'd say 100,000 people attend, and it's definitely an incredible experience. Along with that, it's also in January. So very nice to get down to warmer weather in Orlando, Florida, during that week in January where we end up going to the show. So we'll do some student insights. Maybe we'll have 2 students. I'm going to pick on Allison because I know she not only did spring break, but she also did PGA show. Maybe we'll also pick on Jared because I do see him in this photo, so he can talk about both as well. Share some information about your experiences during spring break or PGA show, and maybe a favorite golf-related memory and a favorite non-golf related memory.
Yeah, I can start. I'll start with PGA show first. I've been my freshman year and this year, and it was really fun each year. My favorite part probably about it is meeting with my internship that I'm going to. So last year I met with Medina, I met with the head pro, and a few other interns, which was really nice because then I got to see like if I liked everyone and how everything was going to turn out for the upcoming summer. And then same thing for this year. Like this year, I got to go to a dinner with a lot of the Baltusrol staff as well as meet some of the other interns, which is really cool. So that's probably my favorite part about the PGA show is just being able to connect with all those people before heading to internship, just so I really know that I'm going to be comfortable with where I'm going. And then favorite golf related moment would probably be I really enjoyed the Scotland trip, but honestly, I think Bandon Dunes was better, in my opinion. And I really liked Bandon Trails. I think that's my favorite golf course currently. So that's probably my favorite golf moment so far. And then my non-favorite golf moment would have to be either Thon or the football games. They're really incredible to go to, especially the whiteout game. I got to go my freshman year, which was really cool. So that's probably my favorite non-golf moment here at Penn State.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so I went to the PGA show the first time this past year. It was really neat. Wasn't the best weather for Florida that year. I know Mitchell was kind of upset about that. He looks forward to the nicer weather in the wintertime. But it was really, really cool. There's this thing called Demo Day where there's this huge driving range. It goes around in a circle, and you get to test out all the latest and greatest technology and golf clubs in the industry. That was really, really neat. Just spending time down in Florida with some of your friends, walking around the floor of the PGA show, seeing some really cool product in the industry, meeting some really cool people. It was awesome. Favorite golf memory in the program? First day of player development. My freshman year, I made a hole-in-one, which was pretty cool. Went into the program with a bang, which was neat. And favorite non-golf moment? I'll tell you what, when we were in Scotland, when we were in Edinburgh, it was really, really cool being able to walk around in the city of Edinburgh and just like get to meet some of the people there, and like learn their culture a little bit. It was really, really cool.
Absolutely. Yeah, and then just the top 10 reasons to choose Penn State. The alumni network is awesome. Michael and Nathaniel are two great alums, but there's honestly 698 more. Nathaniel and Michael's out there that are ready to help and ready to support our students, which is just phenomenal. The Golf Teaching Research Center, really can't say enough about it. Being able to see it in person as well is something I would highly recommend. We're actually working on expanding the lab as well. So currently we have 3 hitting bays. I think we want to potentially add 3 more and maybe a putting green as well. So that could be coming up in the near future. Our faculty and staff, we're always available. We always want to support students. I really try to make it my job to help guide students in the right direction. Anytime they go on an internship, after they come back, my first questions are, what did you like? What didn't you like? And hopefully trying to tailor that internship experience to eventually be what they want to go to in the golf industry. Certainly the experiential learning opportunities with spring break, PGA show, we really pride ourselves on that. Being Penn State and just the academic ranking, it's a great education and a great program as a whole. I know we have several students that are involved with clubs and organizations as well as intramural sports. They really are, I would say, and I echo what Nathaniel and Michael said earlier, that it's a small community, but in a big school. So you get to know your community very well, and it's going to feel a lot smaller than being at a university with 40,000 students. So you're really in a great spot. Thon is certainly something that's very memorable, I think, for everybody. Having a great football program, it's certainly a perk for sure. We know our students take advantage of and enjoy going to football games. Having access to a 36-hole facility is great with the Penn State courses. And I truly believe this make friends for life part. Just being in a cohort, having that similar interest of golf, wanting to turn it into a career, but also making friends right away. It really makes the program stand out. And I truly think that it makes Penn State a great choice for anybody that has been listening tonight. So last slide, and then we'll open it up for some Q&A. And we'll just open up the floor to both the students and the alumni. What advice would you give to students and parents about college and how to make the most of the PGA golf management experience?
For me, just to kind of, this is a little off topic because I just wanted to share this real quick. Regardless of whether you come to Penn State for golf management, transfer out, whatever, you can go to a Penn State engineer in Alaska and give them a "we are," and they're going to give you a Penn State right back at you. I think that speaks volumes to the alumni network we provide here. But sorry, I got off topic. I just wanted to share that because it truly does reign across the world. And my advice would be just getting involved. I think I met some of my best friends for life already by just getting involved. It's very easy to go through these 4 years and go unnoticed and just fly under the radar. But you can also make the most of the opportunities you have. And I think it puts you above others when you exit college.
I'll go. I got to echo Jackson. Getting involved is easily the best way to go. I got involved my second semester of my freshman year, and I honestly regret not getting involved the first semester. So getting involved, and then I also would say, don't say no. Do as much as possible. If there's an opportunity and you're thinking about taking it, say yes. That's how you learn and grow, and that's sort of the mentality that I take. And so just do as much as you can.
Awesome. Oh, go ahead.
I'll throw one more point on here, Mitchell, which is, yeah, I mean, I would completely agree with getting involved. Can't stress that enough. I would just say also when you're there, really taking advantage of your internships. I mean, to me, one of the most special things about the program was the internships, and you really got a sense for maybe what type of club or where in the country or, really the dynamic that you wanted to land in post-graduation. So to me, that's something, pretty unique about the PGM program that sets it apart.
Awesome. Well, if anything else comes to mind, feel free to share. I'm just going to X out of the presentation. And we'll just open up the floor. I know that was a lot of information to cover in a short amount of time, but if anybody has any questions, feel free to let us know. You can either put them in the chat, or if you want to use the hand raising feature, you can certainly do that. But you have a great panel with regard to alumni and students here that can certainly share insights. And I'm happy to also share some insights as well with regard to anything that's on anybody's mind at this point.
Hi, I have a question. How competitive is the major to get into Minnesota?
Yeah, absolutely. Great question. So the biggest requirement with regard to the major is the handicap requirement. So at Penn State, we require a 12 handicap or lower. And obviously going through admissions with regard to applying to Penn State. But that's the biggest requirement just on our end, is just making sure you have the handicap verification completed. And you also have that handicap verification signed off on by a PGA professional. We just want to make sure that coming into the program, your son or daughter has the playing ability to eventually be able to pass a PGA's playing ability test. It's certainly not a requirement coming into Penn State, but we just want to know that it's that student coming in has the potential to pass the PAT, and that in the 4.5 years that they'll be here, we feel confident that they would successfully make it through the program. Awesome. Oh,
So I had kind of to build off of that. How many students are in the major, like all together with all four years? Like how big of a group is it?
great question. So currently we're at about 130. Our incoming class will be around 60-ish, but fortunately we have 5 faculty that all work with students while they're here. We certainly get to know them very well. I would say sometimes a little too well, but in a good way. But that said, it does really feel like a small community, and I know every student by name, and the 5 faculty in the professional golf management program also know every student by name. So you're certainly in a program at Penn State where it's gonna feel small, even though you're at a large university.
And coming from a Penn State alum myself here, what sets apart Penn State's program from the other universities that offer this program, other than what you had on those bulletins?
Yeah, that's a great question. I have my answer, but before I give my answer, I'd love to just see what some other thoughts are before I share why I think that Penn State's a great choice, and everything that goes into making a great decision to come to Penn State.
Mitch, I could maybe tackle some of that question if it helps.
Perfect.
One thing that I've noticed about coming to Penn State and being part of this major is the fact that, regardless of the year or cohort anybody is in, you have the opportunity to, talk to everybody and really meet everybody in those separate years. So Jared's in the cohort ahead of me. I've played golf with him countless times. I consider ourselves really good friends. And just having the opportunity to, when you're a first year, be able to go out, play golf, and connect with a third year, bounce ideas off of them of, what you maybe want to do, or even just to play golf. It's truly a community that I haven't seen before. And just for a little background, I actually transferred into Penn State after my freshman year of college. So I'm technically a junior in the second year cohort. At my previous school, I didn't really know what I wanted to do, but I knew I loved golf, and I'm still trying to figure out what exactly is I want out of the industry, but I know I love golf, and I know that the resources here at Penn State, they're setting me up to succeed the best I can. And I know with those resources, along with the people that I'm surrounded by just being a part of the Penn State name, I'll be set up for success.
I'm going to jump in there as well and say that, to my knowledge, none of the other PGM programs out there offer the level of student sort of engagement opportunities that we have within the Student Society. We've got 5 committees now that students have the opportunity to be a part of. And then there's also Thon. No other school does anything sort of like Thon. So I would say if you're comparing Penn State directly to those other PGM universities, I think we're the clear number one.
Agree with everything that those two just said. And building on that, the facilities that we have are immaculate. The GTRC is top tier. If you're not here utilizing it, you're really missing out. You're always seeing people down there hitting golf balls, getting better with their game, utilizing the advisors and professors that we have. No other PGM school has the advisors and professors that we have here, with Mitch being included in that. It's just top tier. They set us up for success, but they genuinely care about us. They know, Mitchell said they know us like on a first name basis. That's true. And they want us to succeed really bad. And you can tell with the conversations that you have with them.
That's a great
Also,
point,
just a
Jared.
Oh,
Go ahead,
sorry,
Jackson.
Michael. I was just going to say a quick point. I think it speaks volumes, the 100% job placement that we get out of college. I don't know for a fact, but I can almost assume that that's not every single college out there. And I think that's a testament to what Mitch and our director and all the 5 staff members do for us in the 4 years that we are here.
Jackson, that's sort of the point I was going to make, is that, the position I'm in now, I get applications from all the universities. I think I always give, Penn State a little better look. And obviously I'm a Penn State grad, but I think just our alumni network in general, provides additional opportunities for not only interns, but graduates. I think in general, it's recognized in the golf business as sort of the producing the top talent out of PGM programs.
Yeah, I'll also just echo from a faculty side. We do truly care about our students, and we truly do want to try to provide the best resources we can. And that also means utilizing all the great resources at Penn State. So, for example, one resource that we've actually connected with this year that is actually brand new to Penn State, but I think could be a great resource for our students is academic coaching resource. Coming to college is obviously a big transition for students from high school. You go from the traditional going to school from, let's say, 8 to 4-ish to now maybe having classes 2 to 3 hours a week. And adding that coaching element, I think, is great because it helps students meet them where they are with regard to helping them succeed academically. I've also partnered with the Writing Center as well, which has been a great partnership. So having those resources available to us is something that we take a lot of pride in, and we do that as much as possible to help our students succeed in the 4 years that they're with us in school. I see a question in the chat as well. What's the acceptance rate of the program? I don't have a definite number for you. I will say that if you are admitted into the program and you have your handicap verification signed off on, those are the 2 biggest criteria with regard to applying to Penn State, is annotating that in the application process that you're interested in professional golf management. And then that handicap verification part is crucial because we do have families and students that will apply to Penn State, but they won't complete the handicap verification form, and those are not complete applications. So that's definitely what I would say the priority would be for any incoming student. And I would say going into a professional golf management program, our handicap requirements is 12. I think if you're down to, I'd say, a range of between 6 and 9, you're in really good shape coming in with regard to being able to pass the playing ability test and also feeling comfortable playing with our students in various events throughout the semesters. Any other questions or any other thoughts? I'll provide my email in the chat. So for folks that want to schedule a visit up to Penn State, we generally do our visit days on Fridays. So feel free to reach out anytime with regard to scheduling a time. We'll also be here over the summertime as well. So if you'd like to come during the summer just to see the facilities, you're certainly welcome to do so. It will be a little quieter since students aren't around. But if you wanted to come during the fall or the spring, that's a great time to come to be able to interact with students, and really see everything in action when you end up making the trip to State College. So we're certainly happy to be resources for you. If any students want to put their emails in the chats, or any of the alums want to put their emails in the chat, feel free to do so. We're all certainly happy to help and answer any questions that might be out there. Special thank you to David and to Annie as well for putting this together. Y'all do an amazing job with regard to everything you do to support golf in the Philadelphia region and even up in the State College area. So thank you again for everything. And I guess any other thoughts before we sign off tonight?
I had one extra question. Sorry.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Did any of the students or even alumni, had they maybe debated between going to college to play golf versus the PGM program, and kind of how did they, if they did, how did they make the decision to do PGM versus like maybe playing on a team somewhere?
If I could tackle this one. Yeah, I played a lot of competitive golf when I was in high school. And I was looking at playing in college, but at the same time, I knew I wanted to pursue something in the golf industry. And when I got a visit up here and I heard about all the things that I could do in PGM, such as like playing in golf tournaments, still making travel teams, going up against when playing against other colleges still, it was kind of a no-brainer for me to go here because I've always wanted to go to Penn State. And I want to pursue something in the golf industry, and I can still play competitive golf, some really high level like competitive golf in college, because you got a lot of kids in this program that if they weren't here at Penn State and PGM, they'd be playing collegiate golf somewhere. So it was kind of a no-brainer for me.
Yeah, I'll just echo that. I think being in the program, it really gives you a leg up with regard to you're still playing competitively and you're still very much keeping up your game, but you're really turning it into a career. So I think that's what really makes this program stand out, is that you're doing something you love, not just for the 4 years that you would be in college, but for your career as well. And going into several different directions as well with that career path. So just as an example, with my career path, I worked with PGA Junior League. I was actually one of their first league managers. So I don't know if any folks on the call played Junior League when they were younger, but I actually worked with the Philadelphia section when it first got going. Then worked for the PGA of America for a little over 2 years before coming to Penn State. So a little bit of a different career path, but just to show that there's a lot of career paths out there in this industry. And I think if you're thinking about making golf something that is part of what you're doing for not just college, but after college, there's really a no-brainer. And it's a great choice with regard to going that direction.
I just wanted to also add something real quick. What Jared said about competitive golf. Just to give a little bit of perspective, we have our weekend tournament series in the fall and the spring. And just for a little context, I would say the winner of those tournaments usually shoots anywhere from 2 under, 3 under to even par. I would say the top 5 of almost every single tournament, kids are all, under par or right at even par, just to give a little bit of perspective on how competitive the program is if you're worried about still playing competitive golf.
Yes, and Jared actually started the PGM Open. So is that something you want to share a little bit more about that event and how that's gotten opened up to the community?
Yeah, so our regular tournaments on the weekends in the fall and the spring, they are secluded just to PGMers, just Penn State's PGM students. We play against each other. What I wanted to get out, I used to be the tournament director for the program. And during my time here, I wanted to create an event that brought even more competitiveness to the program and brought other players outside of just our program into it. So me and my tournament committee, we created the Penn State PGM Open.
Oh, I think he froze.
Just sorry, my connection went away for a second. It's not just players in the program. It's open to the general public, the collegiate golfers, to Penn State college students, to PGA professionals, which is really, really cool. And we're going to keep on trying to grow this this tournament. One PGMer in the program won this past year, Alex Sonarski, with a score of -4, I think, through 2 days in pretty tough conditions. So it was a successful event, and the winner of that event is pretty cool as compared to some of the other tournaments. Is the winner gets $1,000, which is pretty neat, and the top 5 get paid out. So it was a huge success, and we're looking forward to growing the event for the next couple of years.
Awesome. Any other questions from folks before we sign off? Well, David and Annie, thank you all again for putting this together. Michael and I think Nathaniel logged off. Thank you for being here. Very glad you were able to make it and share that alumni perspective. I think that's extremely valuable for families as they're thinking about this college choice and what direction they might go. Special shout out to the students as well. Thank you guys for being here tonight. I know finals week is coming up, so I know that is certainly on folks' radars. I know people have papers to write, so we certainly don't want to keep you all too late. All of our emails are in the chat feature, though, so if anybody wants to reach out at any time, feel free to reach out to any of us. We're happy to help support in any way we can, and we'll go from there.
Yeah, just wanted to thank everyone for their time. Appreciate it.
Perfect. Thank you all.
Have a good night.
Yeah.
Thank you.